So you've got negative feelings and you don't like them. It's not easy to let go of negative feelings, but the way to ensure that you have more negative feelings is to resist them or to repress them, because these feelings are a part of your truth and they will not be denied. I promise you that. And often this means that we have to face these uncomfortable feelings, which is not very pleasant. But if we do not, they will kind of bubble underneath the surface and they will make our entire life unpleasant because they don't ever leave us. That trauma or those negative emotions, they get stored in our bodies. So we are living with those energy blockages. We carry this negativity around with us in every single aspect of our lives. And that is why a lot of the times you see people just randomly freak out, because the tension has built up and up and up, and it was not addressed, and those emotions take over because they will not be denied, and they want their voice heard. It's almost like a rejected part of you is calling out from the darkness, asking to be seen, and because you might refuse to see it, it has to lash out in these violent ways, because that seems to be the only way it can get your attention. And understand, so long as those emotions are not addressed, they will influence all of your thoughts, all of your actions, all of your interactions with other people. And it will ruin your life. And things will get worse and worse and worse, because that suffering is designed to wake you up, to make you realize that there is a problem that is not being addressed. And when you reject part of your truth, you live inauthentically. And that is not a sustainable way of living. And so the first thing to do after we have recognized that there are unaddressed emotions within us is that we want to allow and accept them as they are, because that resistance creates more tension, and that tension creates more problems in the body. There are no such things as wrong emotions or wrong feelings. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are accurate. It just means that we can allow and accept them as they are in this moment without necessarily needing to react to them. And so once we've kind of broken down that mental resistance, we can allow those emotions to rise up. And once they have risen, then you feel them. You focus your awareness fully on the feeling of your body, and you experience those emotions to their fullest. And that is like listening to that inner part of you that is crying out to be heard. And by experiencing those emotions, whether it be intense sadness or anger or hatred, it is a deeply healing experience. But we have to be careful not to identify with those emotions and get caught in them, to where now we've created this story in our head in which we are going to go act out on these emotions in real life. For instance, if you have extreme hatred, it is not wrong to feel that hatred, it is wrong to act out on it. Don't allow your mind to create a story in your head, but just be present with those emotions and experience them as fully as you possibly can. This is deep healing. Sometimes we can even bring up those difficult memories from the past, maybe some thoughts that linger in the background from time to time. And those thoughts are the key that hold those emotions. They're tied together. And so if we have a traumatic experience or a traumatic memory, part of ourself is stuck in the past. And by going back into that memory, we can recover that lost part of ourself and begin living more authentically, more whole, more true. But we have to allow ourselves to process what happened, not to continue making a story and identity out of it, but rather to accept it, to allow ourselves to be, to allow those emotions to be as they are, and just let go. Letting go is the process of not resisting. And resistance comes when our mind rejects what is. We have a certain emotion, the mind does not want that emotion, and therefore it resists it. We have a certain experience, the mind does not want that experience, so it resists it. Whereas you have the power to allow and accept all experience to be as it is without reacting, or without judging, or without making a story or an identity out of it. So allow yourself to process those deep and difficult emotions, because through that experience is the life that we truly desire. And so long as we repress the past, so long as we reject parts of ourselves or resist these difficult emotions, we will always stay stuck in the same problems, in the same life situations, in the same relationships. And these things are a reflection of what is within. Our outer world is a reflection of what is within. So the moment we can heal our trauma, heal the past, dive into these deep and difficult emotions and experience them to their fullest, through that healing experience, many of the problems that we encounter in the outer world will eventually dissolve. Because what you find is that those problems were a reflection of us. So when we heal the problem within us, the problems in the world go away. That doesn't mean we still won't have problems. It just means now we're on to the next step in our journey. And so life is a continually unraveling of ourselves. As our experience unfolds, we embark on a journey of self-discovery. And we continue to work on ourselves and heal ourselves and create a life that we truly desire.